So I usually draw up plays. Up until tonight, I've never drawn up a play that we haven't scored on the scoreboard until tonight. And I drew up a play for us to miss and get an offensive rebound as the time expired. So we screwed it up and scored too early. Obviously, the Jug wanted just proud to get out of there with a win. I mean, obviously a difficult game as we talked about. I think it came up in media the other day. Look up and the team's 1-9 and they're good. They got good players. They have good coaches. This league, they're fighting. There's a sense of desperation on their side, and we obviously weren't as sharp as we've been. But sometimes you just got to find a way to be 1 point better. Tonight we were 3 points better, and I'm glad to get out of there with a win and move on. And obviously look forward to getting back to practice. Good gosh, and getting better tomorrow.
You mentioned you just got to find a way to win. You guys shot 22% from three, 58% from the line. How did you find a way to win?
Well, we guarded for the most part, and we rebounded. And that's been a staple of who we are. And the reason that you try to put the emphasis on the defense is because, good gosh, sometimes you're going to have those shoe nights. It's the nature of the game. So we defended for the most part at a pretty high level, and we rebounded the ball, which gave us a chance on a night where, Chris missed a couple wide open ones. Q missed a couple wide opens. Obviously, I think it started playing a little bit on his mind. But just defensive rebounding led the charge for us.
What have you put in perspective what John Michael's doing? In the last game, TCU, he closed strong night despite missing some free throws and
Sure.
stuff. Just what have you kind of seen from him lately in his growth and with you guys?
Well, I think part of it is he's comfortable with who he is as a part of this team. And he's been asked to do a little bit more, probably closer to what he's been before he got here. Now, not necessarily having to average 18, but with Avery out, we need him to do a little bit more. And we need everybody. As you see in the stats, man, everybody, in terms of perimeter guys, Keon played probably more than he's ever played. Chris Harris probably played more than he's played in his career tonight at one time. Nas Brown got a few minutes. So I think John Michael just embracing the sense of more responsibility for his team.
What you mentioned Nas, I've got to ask about him. 3 good minutes, the assist. What have you seen from him throughout the year and to be able to go him that minute?
He's a good player. He's a kid that works just as hard as everybody else. Obviously, he hasn't been afforded an opportunity in games, but we watch him practice. He has an impact on practice every day. He really has done a really good job in preparation, being that other team's guard a lot of times that we have to prepare for. Obviously tonight was Harmon, in other games, maybe Kalsher or Grant Sherfield. He's really embraced being a leader for our preparation team. And I thought that we may need to steal a few minutes tonight, and I was proud of the way he handled it. I thought he did phenomenal.
I think at the beginning of the year you said that you took Q out because he wasn't shooting whenever he needed to shoot. It seems like that confidence, he missed a couple tonight, but it seems like the confidence is there for him now.
Yeah, you got to grow into a belief in yourself when you play in this league that if you're out there and you're open, you got to live with the results. As long as you put the time in practice, coming back after practice, spending time with our GAs and our managers, that you got to go out there and believe, because otherwise it becomes real psychological if teams don't guard you and now you're still hesitant to shoot. So eventually they'll fall. I wish, because the last couple games it's been his first time down the court and touching the ball that he's launched at 3. I'm trying to get him to understand, allow yourself to get in the flow, get a layup, get to the free throw line, and that'll make that 3-point shot feel a little bit better. So, but it's part of the process with a freshman.
He's had a stretch of getting a couple offensive rebounds, I think 3 tonight, 3 against Ole Miss, 2 against Iowa State. Is it just right place, right time, or does he have a knack for it?
No, really got a great knack for the ball. It's kind of weird when he's got the ball in transition too, because it always seems like he's about to stop. He doesn't ever stop. Sometimes I want him to stop, and I want somebody on his team to go get the ball from him, because I worry about what may happen next. But again, he's got courage that he believes in his own ability to make plays out there, and obviously his role's growing in what we're dealing with right now.
I think freshman or sophomore Caleb might have been frustrated by the way he was getting guarded early, but he's able to score 9 points, I think, in the second half. What did you kind of see from him?
I think he was a little bit worried because we knew they would double team him, and they were kind of sitting there waiting. It's kind of the product of how they play defense anyway, but they were especially aware of him when he caught the ball. So I think just the crowd around him made him a little bit less aggressive. But I was certainly glad that he turned it on a little bit in the second half. I was disappointed. His only shot in the first half was the 3, basically at the end of the half. So I think he overthought how aggressive they were going to be doubling, because the first time he caught it, they didn't double. Threw it out to Woody for 3. But on a night like that where a kid's been playing well, that doesn't give you his A game to find a way to win, gives you hope that you got something that you can go to when you don't have your best.
Maybe if we can cut down to the last couple questions, just in the interest of saving the head man's voice right here.
Bryce, first half, and then second half didn't score, but he fed off Caleb too, I think, in that first half, being part of the way it was. What'd you see from Bryce?
Yeah, they were really conscious in our pick and rolls about not leaving Caleb and Musa. And Bryce got a lot of, drives to the rim and finished well. I asked him what he wanted me to tell you when you guys came in here and asked me about not scoring in the second half, and he didn't give me a good answer, so I don't have one on why he didn't score in the second half. If he made his free throws, that would help, though.
With Avery gone for the season, is tonight a game you talked to Bryce about coming up big with 21 points as a leader moving forward this season?
Well, we don't talk in numbers. We don't know how the game's going to play. But we talked to him about being more aggressive. Avery's leaving 12 points out there in 30 minutes, both ways. So, again, 2 or 4 more from him, 2 or 4 more from Caleb or Musa, and now you can figure out how to put it together as a team.
I think somebody had mistakenly asked what it felt like to win 3 Big 12 games in a row when we talked to you earlier in the week. Now that you've done that, what does that feel like to be able to string back-to-back wins together in the
Again,
Big 12?
this is the first it's even crossed my mind. Seriously, I don't even think in those terms. I swear I don't. Just glad we won tonight. Like, it was a battle. I mean, every single one of these games is a fight, to the end. And tonight we were able to get out of here against a good team. They're going to win more games in our league. They're not going to finish 1-17. I'm pretty confident in that. Just glad it wasn't tonight that they got their second, and I look forward to getting back to practice because we got to get better. We weren't as good as we needed to be tonight, but we were good enough to get out of here with a win.
Banner had,
You got one more.
Banner had 13 in the first half. What adjustments did you guys make on him?
Well, part of the problem is we didn't follow our game plan defensively to start the game. I mean, he makes 2 catch-and-shoot threes. Basically, we didn't guard him. I mean, and he's a really good player. And so that's on me as a coach to make sure they understand the urgency with a guy like that, because he could have erupted. He's the type of kid that could get 25 easily, especially if he gets his 3-ball going. But I thought Woody turned it up. Q really guarded him well, and then we were switching and not allowing him as much airspace as the game went on.
Is Chris okay?
Yeah, he just cramped there. And again, part of it is playing more minutes and probably not hydrating as much as he needed to be, but he'll be fine. Thanks, guys. Sorry about